All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. This is Daniel Higgins coming to you. Hope everybody's having a great day, afternoon, night. Just depends on where you're at in this awesome world that we live in. Let me do a quick audio check. Make sure you can hear me clearly. All right. So it sounds like I'm coming in clear. Welcome, Heat Chaser. Welcome, Richard Soto. Some of our wealth building family is hanging out with us today. So welcome in, everybody. I'm live on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, along with Twitter as default, because I guess they're consolidating Periscope into Twitter now, which is it's all right with me. So welcome, everybody. Once again, this is Daniel Higgins coming to you live. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to join us tonight, this afternoon. Just depends on where you're at in this awesome world that we live in. A little bit about me. Once again, I'm Daniel Higgins. For anybody who is just joining us for the very, very first time, I'm a husband, father of two amazing sons. One of my older boys went ahead and created that music that you were just listening to, jamming out to a little bit. Business management major, graduated with Shorter University with a business management major along with a leadership degree. So that's all good like that. It gives me a reference point and a different point of view than some other people, right? And then I'm a worship leader, very active in our church. And then, of course, I am a wealth builder. So we have, and I can't understate that last one enough. I mean, it's very important. How's it going, Mr. Soto? Good to see you, sir. Mr. Soto's part of this awesome wealth building family also. So we welcome all people, all different walks of life, right? So I have some great content for everyone tonight. Want to share some great benefits from one of my mentors. I know my first episode, we talked about mentors, and I touched a little bit on having mentors that are, mentors that you might be reading books from, mentors that you might actually be gleaning information from that you haven't had the opportunity to meet face to face because, maybe you might not know that person, right? So once again, I'm Daniel Higgins. Oh, thanks a lot, Ms. Cece. He has a YouTube channel. I need to, of course, post that information again so that everybody sees my son's YouTube channel. He's been creating music. He's active in his band, his marching band, and he's got some skills. So I tasked him with making me some music. So what's up, Miss Sharon Clark? How you doing? So welcome everybody to the stream, our wealth building family. So great content tonight with one of our mentors, all right, John C. Maxwell, which we enjoy hearing information. And I'm actually rereading a book that he wrote several years ago called The Power of Five, all right? So I'm going to jump into this content right now. Two amazing audios from John Maxwell. And then we're going to talk a little bit about that book that I mentioned, The Power of Five. It's such a good book. And I think I may have reading it the second time around, or the third time around, I should say, third time around, it's making an even bigger impact on me. So I wanted to share that content with you tonight. Okay. It is exciting. But let me go ahead and get into this audio from John Maxwell. And of course, you want to follow John Maxwell on YouTube. You want to jump on his YouTube, John C. Maxwell, so that you can see some of this great content directly from his YouTube channel. Okay, so we're going to go right into right now. And it's just great content, so definitely enjoy. And I might jump in every once in a while and say something.
Welcome to Minute with Maxwell today. John Maxwell here. Maya Angelou gives us a great strength statement that I want to pass on to you today. Here's what she said. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. You see, Maya understood that difficult times change us. We change. We have to adjust. We are seeing things that we've never seen before. We're getting blindsided. The unexpected happens. And so Maya said, through crisis, I get changed. But what I love about her is she said, even though crisis has a tendency to push me or pull me or kind of maybe divide me sometimes, here's what she said. Crisis may bring change to me, but I won't let that crisis reduce me. You see, there's a difference between expanding and reducing. When I expand, the adversity that's around me makes me better. And when I reduce, it makes me bitter. Maya said,
ooh, let me just pause right there. So are we going to expand or reduce and become bitter? So definitely in this current climate that we're in, I hope that everyone is challenging themselves to expand. There's a certain prayer that comes to mind, right? There's a certain thought process that comes to mind. People want to say expand their territory. So I hope that in this point in time, you are expanding. Continue to challenge yourself. It's very important to do that.
I'm not going to let that happen. You see, change happens, but positive change just doesn't happen. If it's positive change, it's because you're intentional. It's because, like Maya, you said, okay, changes are all around me, but I won't let those changes make me less than the person I am today.
Ooh, and that's another big one. Positive change. Positive change does not happen by default. You got to be intentional with positive change. Negative things will just come and go, but positive change only happens as you are intentional. You have a goal in mind. You have a purpose in mind. So keep that in mind. And we'll fast forward a little bit in here, guys.
And I reduce, it makes me bitter. Maya said, I'm not going to let that happen. You see, change happens, but positive change just doesn't happen. If it's positive change, it's because you're intentional. It's because, like Maya, you said, okay, change.
Yep.
Changes are all around me, but I won't let those changes make me less than the person I am today. That's my hope and prayer for you. And I'm so glad you joined me today on Minute with Maxwell. When I was young and I was just starting to read books that would help me to improve myself, one of my favorite authors was Ogmandino. He wrote a book called The Greatest Salesman That Ever Lived. It was a phenomenal book for me. But here's a quote from Ogmandino. He says, failure will never overtake me if, that's the key word, my determination to succeed is strong enough. Welcome to Minute with Maxwell. My name is John. And what Ogmandino says in that statement is very simple. There are two emotions that we have during adversity. One emotion is to give up and to quit, and the other is to be persistent and hang on and stay in the game. What Ogmandino knows that I want to learn, and I want you to learn also, is that these two emotions are always alive within us. It's not like my give up is predominant and I have no, let's get on with it. You got to understand, I've got the positive, I got the negative running through me all the time. The question is,
ooh, that's a big point right there. We have the positive and negative running at the same time. You need those two. They balance each other out, right? You got to be aware of that. So there's not just one side. Man, that's such a good point. I'm gonna let it play.
Which one of the two is the stronger? Give up or go on? Because Augmendino basically says to us, the stronger of the two emotions, give up or go on, will determine if we give up or go on. So I want to encourage you, make the determination today that your will to succeed is going to be greater than your willingness to fail. Thanks for joining me today on Minute with Maxwell.
So, guys, just had to share that great content. Man, I love John Maxwell. I see that comment there, Miss Sharon Clark. I hear you. It's positive words. And yes, Miss CC, positive change is intentional. So I love what he said about Augmendino. If you know one of our amazing mentors, Mr. Ty Best, he highly recommends the Augmendino books, all of them. So you want to definitely get your hands on that to, of course, build yourself up. So definitely thank you guys for joining. I have some very, very key points that I want to bring out from John Maxwell's book. Okay. It's called The Power of Five. The Power of Five. I'm going to give the whole title in just a few minutes for those of you guys who already know kind of where I'm headed, right? But John Maxwell is an absolute leader among leaders. He has literally been in the leadership arena, sharing leadership principles, developing and growing organizations, developing and growing people for over 20, more than over 30 years, right? So he's definitely a great resource to tap into when it comes to personal development and leadership, right? Because he's been doing it big. So he's been involved with mentoring people. He's been involved with, I just have to flat out say he is a leader amongst leaders. His book, The Power of Five, goes over several points, right? I'm reeling you in right now. I'm reeling you in right now. I'm not even gonna lie. But no, so that content is amazing, right? That book, his books are amazing, right? So let's go ahead. We're gonna talk about some key points that he discusses in his book. Okay, so John Maxwell recommends an industry. All right, he recommends an industry for several key points. All right, so why this industry? Why is John Maxwell one of the predominant leaders among leaders, a global leader, recommending an industry? Right, this is straight from his book, The Power of Five. Okay, thank you, CC. Yep, it's just great information from John Maxwell. I love reading John Maxwell books. All right, so let's go ahead. So all right, so we'll go ahead into some of the reasons why John Maxwell recommends this industry. First point, he says, enhancing your income. So he's recommending an industry to help you, anybody under the sound of my voice, enhance your income, no matter where you're at in your life. Number two, provide options for your life. Who would like enhanced income and more options, not to be restricted or held back, right? Third thing, start on a level playing field. You know, there's so many things in this world where we don't have control over it, right? We may start at a disadvantage, right? And we have to rise above that because there's no excuses. There's either you make it or you don't, right? But isn't it nice to have an opportunity where you actually do start at a level playing field, where nobody has an advantage over you, right? So that's one reason why he recommends this industry. Lets you earn while you learn. This is so important because we've been taught something completely different for the most part, but we experience different things, right? Because we all have different points of views and different reference points, right? So 5, increase your influence. Now I'm going to tell you guys right now, we're going to walk into some of the key breakdowns of why he recommends this industry. What is this industry that John Maxwell, a leader among leaders, a global leader, what industry is he recommending? Why would he recommend it? Those 5 points. He actually has 10 points. I'm only doing 5 tonight, and I'm going to break it out. We'll probably talk about the other 5 tomorrow, right? Tomorrow night around this time. So he recommends this industry for those 5 points. Enhance your income, provide you options, start on a level playing field, earn and learn at the same time, increase your influence, right? So let's go into a little bit more details about why he says that and what are the key points. What is the industry that he's talking about, guys? What industry is he talking about? He's talking about referral marketing. Okay, he's talking about direct sales. He's talking about e-commerce, right? He's talking about all those great industries, right? Rolled in, however you want to say it, however you want to phrase it, right? So Sharon says networking. I say a lot of e-commerce because network marketing, it's not that it has a negative stigma, not from my point of view. I just don't want anybody to be limited, all right? So a lot of times I'll say e-commerce because I don't want them to be limited. But point blank, network marketing, direct sales, e-commerce, however you want to call it, right? It has been and is responsible, based on John Maxwell, it is responsible for making more millionaires than any other industry. So in the book, The Power of Five, he says that would qualify as enhancing income. And some people might say, hey, Daniel, I'm not interested in trying to be a millionaire. Fine. Financial freedom. Financial freedom. If that's your goal, John Maxwell is encouraging you to take a look at an industry that has created more millionaires than any other industry. If you miss that millionaire status and you become financially free, hey, listen, that's a great way to fail, to be financially free and own your own time as opposed to someone else owning your time. That's probably a good deal, right? That's probably a good deal, right? I think it's a good deal. Don't you think it's a good deal? Right. So that's one of the reasons why he recommends this industry, right? That's one of the recommendations. Now, another thing he says in this key point, enhance your income, he just mentions that this industry does about $190 billion in revenue every single year. And that number was based in 2017. So that number is probably higher now, but take advantage of this. You know, John C. Maxwell says it'll provide options for you. This industry gives you freedom. So he talks about freedom in the book, and he talks about not being limited. John Maxwell said, hey, I don't like being limited. That's why he recommends this great industry, because it opens that up for you, opens up the options for you. All right. So level playing field. This was huge too. Okay. Let me move this out the way so you guys can kind of see that a little bit better. All right. So compensation, level playing field. We talked about that before, but this compensation plan, it doesn't care who you've been. It will reward you for who you become. My goodness, that is a good point, because, you know, some people have a disadvantage because of their past, because of their history. They might not be able to find work or find quality work. So the compensation plan, this is from John Maxwell, one of the leaders amongst leaders. He says this compensation plan doesn't care about who you've been, doesn't care about your past. And that's very important. Doesn't matter what you've done before, especially in what we're doing, because it's instantaneous pay. Yep. Our Wealth Builders family has tapped into not just a compensation plan, but a rewards program that helps you get paid in real time immediately. The moment someone clicks a button and acquires stuff, boom. Well, really acquires assets. We have really nothing to sell. We're just accumulating assets, but that's for another stream, right? All right, so we talked about that. Level playing field, compensation doesn't care who you were. Just grow into the person you need to be, right? So this is very important too. John Maxwell says you'll be able to earn and learn at the same time. So this is his quote: learning and earning cannot be separated in this business. A lot of people might jump in or take a look at the outside and say, I can't take action until I know everything. And then when I have someone who says that, right, When I have someone who I have a conversation with and they mention that, I just kindly remind them, when they started their job, did you, when you started your job, you might have signed on the dotted line what your salary is or what your hourly wage is. Did you tell your boss or your supervisor, hey, listen, I know I signed for whatever an hour or my salary for whatever a year, but I'm not going to take that hourly wage. I'm not going to take that salary until I learn everything about the job that I'm taking. I'm not frozen. I paused for dramatic effect. So no one does that, right? No one tells their job or their employer, hold on giving me my full salary until I learn every single nuance of this job. No, we expect paid training. We expect that while we're learning and developing in that job, that we still get compensated. So do the same thing when you come into this amazing business. Go ahead, connect with us and start earning and learning at the same time. The same thing that you do at your job, right? The same thing. Earn and learn at the same time. I want you guys to see my face, my eyeballs, right? So definitely do that. Do that. All right? Do that. That's what we want to do. We want to put you in position to earn and learn at the same time, right? And then increase your influence, right? Make a positive difference in more people than you can ever imagine. So for people who want to grow their influence, become more of a leader, right? This is one of the key points that he talks about. Point 5, increase your influence. So you're gonna be able to make a positive difference in more people than you can ever imagine. I've experienced this, and I'm telling you, it is so rewarding to be able to put someone, or really just let that person uncover the greatness that they already have inside of them and start developing themselves and growing a massive organization or becoming more of an entrepreneur. That right there, number 5, whoo, that is just a beautiful thing when you experience it, where you get the opportunity to pour into someone's life, and in return, they grow as a person, they become more entrepreneurial. That is just it's an amazing feeling, guys. I hope that everybody has that experience. So increase your influence, right? So this is big. This is big. So I want you to get back with whoever's sharing this information with you immediately, right? We literally have your best interest at heart. We want you to be positioned to take advantage of those 5 benefits. There's 5 more benefits. We'll talk about that tomorrow around this time tomorrow. So there's 5 more benefits that John Maxwell talks about, right? So take immediate action. What do you do to take immediate action? You get back with the person who's sharing this information with you from Daniel's Den. Thank you for joining us today, tonight, this afternoon. There's some of my contact information. Now, if I'm the person sharing this information with you, you're seeing this on my Periscope, you're seeing this on my YouTube, you're seeing this on my Twitter, which I just recently opened, right? If you're seeing all that information there, go ahead, jump on why1income.com right down there. Where is it at? Yeah, right down there. And get your free registration completed, all right? It's just going to ask you for some basic information, your email and your name. Nothing intrusive, because what we're doing here is very unique and very different. There's no social security numbers needed, none of that stuff, right? Get your free registration completed. You're viewing us on a free platform called Facebook or YouTube or Periscope or Twitter. So you can't say nothing's free. What you want to do is you want to position yourself to be successful. You want to position yourself to tap into those 5 key points that John Maxwell talked about. 1 being income, right? If you're looking to create more income, boom, get connected, right? Get connected with whoever is sharing this information with you. And Sharon, I love that. I'm going to put that up, right? So even though I'm involved, there are still things I don't understand. I guess I'll be a millionaire by accident. Yes, you can. Now, we actually have some things in place, guys, that you don't have to know everything. You really don't. you want to connect. And that's thank you for being transparent there. You want to connect because one of the things he said, you earn and learn at the same time. They're not separated. Don't allow them to be separated because this business allows you to do it both at the same time. So that's very important. So thank you for that transparency, Sharon, because hey, listen, I don't know everything. I don't know everything about what we're doing. I know that I'm connected to an amazing group of individuals. I know that I'm connected to leaders that I trust and have developed relationships with. Like he said, point five, right? So I'm telling you, you want to connect with Wealth Builders Worldwide. You want to connect with whoever's sharing this information with you, okay? Get back with the person sharing this with you right away. Get back with them right away so that you can start your financial freedom, right? Because he talked about freedom. He talked about options. John C. Maxwell did. So you want to tap into those options. Don't limit yourself this year. Start your 2021 strong with more income and a global organization that's going to be supportive and help you reach your goals and dreams as quickly as possible. Okay. So everyone, thank you so much for your time. I absolutely appreciate it. So thank you for joining Daniel's Den for episode 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I know the content is short and sweet, and that's done on purpose so that everybody can join and enjoy this information when they come in, okay? So thank you for everybody joining tonight. You guys have a great night, afternoon, or morning. Just depends on where you're at in this awesome world.